So we're gonna make a value scale. So remember, we've done a value scale with pencil, we've done a value scale with charcoal, we've done a value scale with watercolor paint. So now we're gonna do one with colored pencils. So you choose any color of colored pencil that you wanna use. And we're going to start with the darkest value on the left, and we want it to gradually get lighter as we go to the right. The goal with this is also to not see any pencil streaks, so try to keep it really smooth. So you start really dark on the left, fill it in completely, and then as you work your way over to the right, try to lighten up your pressure. Try to keep the pressure nice and smooth. Sometimes I rotate the direction I'm coloring to kind of help blend out pencil streaks. Yeah. So after you do one layer, go back in and look at where do I need to blend it out a bit more. So number 2, blending 2 colors. Okay, so make another scale. We're gonna do this twice. So actually we'll just go ahead and make 2 scales. So you choose 2 colors that you think will look good together. Just don't use white or black because we're going to use those in the next scales. All right, so we're going to start with 1 color on the left, so it doesn't really matter which one. So you choose which color.
I can't see.
So you're basically going to treat this like the same scale that you did above, where you press really hard on the left side, on the very end, and then as you work your way over, you're going to release the pressure on your pencil to make it lighter.
Again?
Yes, just like how you did before, because we're going to start mixing the colors as they get into the center.
Oh, I'm freaking out.
And when you put colored pencil down on paper, the paper has what is called a tooth, which is like the texture of the paper, and once you smooth out the tooth so much by putting down so much color, it won't accept any more after a while. So you want to add light layers of colored pencil so that you don't smooth out the tooth immediately. So once you've done the first color on the left, then you're gonna go in with the next color on the right. And this is just the first layer. We're gonna do at least 3 layers, if not more, to really blend them together. So you should start to create a 3rd color in the middle. So I just did 1 layer, now I'm gonna go back in and go in with another layer. I'm using my green again, the color I started out with. And then go in with my blue. And then I'm gonna go back in with a third layer. And you'll find after a while, the tooth is gonna be completely pushed down and you're gonna find, okay, what I'm doing is not really adding anything, and that tells you it's been completely pushed down. All right, number 3. Number 3. Blending white with a color. Luke is out. He's back. Blending white with a color. So make another scale. So you're gonna need a white colored pencil, and then you choose the color. Okay, we're gonna start with white. If you don't have white, there's some more up here. So we're gonna start with white on the left, and you're going to bring it all the way across, about 3/4 the way across. You're not gonna you shouldn't be able to see anything. You won't really see the effects. You won't see the effects of white until you add the color. So what white's gonna do is it's gonna help blend the color and it's gonna help lighten the color. Okay, so then you have your color on the right. And well, then remember you blend in layers. So it's probably not gonna do a whole lot this first layer. So bring that color over, then go back in again with your white and start blending that out some. You should see it kind of smear the color a little bit, kind of lighten it. And then you're gonna switch to the color again. And then switch back to white. So remember, you should be adding at least 3 layers. Because it just adds a good richness of color. All right, number 4. All right, I'll just write the title and then we'll wait. Blending black with a color. Okay, so we're gonna start with black on the right. Now, because black is so overpowering and dark, we don't want to press super hard because you'll add layers anyways. And you can always add more, but if you add too much, you won't be able to take it away. There's no erasing colored pencil. Or at least these are not erasable. The only place where you want to start out dark is just on that very left area. You're just showing what the color looks like, what the black looks like on its own. And then you're going to start with the color on the right side. Once you're done with that first layer, go back in with the second layer. Build up some more black. And then build up some more color. Number 5. So we are going to, Ben, please shut the computer. All right, well, hurry up. We're gonna do 3D forms with 4 colors. Yeah, we're gonna do 2 3D forms. You can fit one like on the left side and one on the right side. And we're gonna do 4 colors. So, choose 4 colors that you think will look good. You wanna have one that's fairly dark and one that's fairly light. You can include white and black if you wanna include white or black. But choose 4 colors that you think would look good together. For just one for now. We're gonna do the other one tomorrow, or Monday. So we're gonna do a sphere. So we're gonna start with a circle. So let's draw that out first. Use a pencil to draw the circle. Well, go on to the back if you don't have any space. So now we're gonna do just a little color sample on the side just to show these are the 4 colors that we use, and put them in order from either light to dark or dark to light. So just do like a little side color swatch on this side of the sphere. All right, so we're gonna make the darkest part of the shadow on the bottom left. So start with your darkest color, and we're gonna just make that shadow on the bottom left part of the sphere. Technically pressing harder towards the bottom left. And then you kind of wanna like basically make a value scale coming up the side. Yeah. Try to keep your movement smooth. Move your pencil in a round direction because the surface of the object is round. It wouldn't make sense to make straight movements. So go up about halfway. All right, now we're gonna go in with our next darkest color. And we're gonna do it on top of the color we just made, blending them together. Now remember, you don't want to press super hard yet because you want to be able to layer multiple colors on top. And we are using 4 colors to really create a richness and a... Alright, so like I was saying, it builds a richness and depth by including more than just 1 or 2 colors. Alright, so now we're going to go in with our 3rd color. Now, I would maybe work your way up a little higher on the sphere. Let's leave a little bit white at the top. That's going to really help emphasize the highlight. All right, now we're gonna add our lightest color. All right, and then I'm gonna go back in and I'm gonna add another layer. Really kind of build up the richness a bit more with the darker values. Really try to emphasize that shadow. Well, like the shadow that's being cast on the bottom left part of the sphere. And then we are going to go ahead and also make a shadow on the ground. So try to do at least 2 layers of each color. Okay, so we start out with a square. because we're going to make a cube, and you need 4 colors. You want 1 dark and 1 light, and probably 2 in between. Okay, so now we're going to make the cube the way I think is the easiest for most kids. So we're going to do another square diagonally. So you could do it off to the top right, which is what I'm doing. You want to draw a square that's the same size as the first one, or as close to the same size as you can get it. You could also do a square to the top left, or bottom right. But you're going to do one diagonally to your first square. Yeah, good. Okay, and then you're going to connect the 4 sides. So you draw a line connecting the sides. And then the last step is we do need to erase the inside. Well, for the one that we're coloring, you do need to erase the inside.
I do.
Yeah, you can do another one off to the side the way you want to if you would like.
Yes, what if your erase is not that good? Yeah.
Well, just try as well as you can. So you're erasing the inside out. This is why it's important to draw lightly so that when you do erase it, it disappears. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and draw the shadow on the surface the square is sitting on, or the cube is sitting on. So for one, let's draw a little sun to represent, okay, this is where the light source is. And we're pretending that it's coming from the back side of the cube. So your darkest shadow is going to be in the front, and then it's going to cast a shadow forward. So we're going to continue the same angle that the bottom is, that diagonal. We're just going to continue it on forward. Okay, and then the next side of that shadow, you're going to make this edge parallel with this diagonal. So you can even do it with your pencil. Like you could hold it, okay, I'm at this angle here, move it over, and I know I want it to be at this angle. That's okay. If it goes off the edge of your paper, that's okay. I mean, my shadow goes off the edge of my paper. We've got our 4 colors. We want them to be in order from dark to light, and then we're going to do a little side sample of our colors off to the side. So there's my darkest, my second darkest, my second to lightest, and then the lightest. So you're doing a little side sample of your colors. Sometimes you might do that and then realize, oh, I need to change the order a little bit. Some colors end up a little different on paper than they look. Okay, so we're going to start with the front. This is going to be your darkest side of the cube. Remember, you want to be pressing lightly on your pencil. We have what's called a tooth on the paper, and once that tooth is completely smoothed down, you can't add any more colored pencil on top. So you want to make sure you don't smooth out the tooth too quickly. And then now we're going to do the side. Try to press even more lightly on the side. This one has a little bit of light on it, so it's not going to be as dark as the front. And then with our darkest color, I think we can go ahead and just skip the top because that's your lightest side, so we won't add any there. And then we're also going to do our cast shadow. I'm going to make a little bit of a darker line there just to separate my cube from the shadow. And then we can also fill in the shadow. Yeah, don't color in super hard yet because we're going to be overlapping the other colors on top. So now I'm going to go in with my second color, and I'm going to go on top of all three sides. This front side's still going to, I want to still try to make it look like it's the darkest side though. So this one is where I'm going to be pressing the hardest. And then the other two sides, I'm going to ease up my pressure a little bit. So now I'm going to do this right side. I'm going to try to press a little bit more lightly. And then the top, try to do really light. Oh yeah, and then we can also do the cast shadow. Okay, and then the next layer is your third color. So you're just going to repeat. Alright, and then we're going to go in with our lightest color. It shouldn't be super visible on your darkest side, but you can go ahead and add it in there to kind of help build up some of the color. And then once you have finished cycling through all of those, you just want to go in and build it up some more. So I'm going to go back in with my darkest color and really try to get this one built up. The more contrast and value you have, the more three-dimensional your cube is going to look. Build up those colors. Try to blend your pencil streaks.